Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. So yesterday Jeff Kaplan posted on the Blizzard forums basically talking about the workshop. He goes to say, while the response to the workshop has been overwhelming, you are all creating some amazing content. He then went on to list the most popular workshop game modes in terms of the duration of hours that they've been played, the average players, the numbers of matches being created. So in this video, I figured I'd go over the top 10. Some of these game modes you'll know. It won't be a surprise to you which ones might be on the top of this list, but there are also some really cool game modes that I've not seen before that I most certainly want to highlight. Real quick though, the Overwatch World Cup nominations have started. You can vote for your committees in your respective countries. I'm good for Team UK for committee lead, which is different to what Stylos is going for, but I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. Let's just focus on these game modes. As Jeff Kaplan highlighted in this thread as well, some of these game modes there's only one version of, but there are some game modes that have hundreds of different variations. Accuracy trainers as an example. So there are some game modes in this top 10 list that show up twice. So it's more of a top 11, top 12 if that makes sense. But I will highlight which game modes have different variations, so to speak. But the first game mode on this list is Emote To Kill. Really straightforward, you emote at players and they die. It's really straightforward, it's quite cool that you're able to make this in the workshop, but it's not as exciting of a game mode as some of the other ones. It's cool, but you know, like I'm not going to spend more than 2 minutes in there playing this game mode. The second spot though is an incredible game mode called Endgame or Infinity Stones. You're Chateau Gilad and there are 6 Infinity Stones placed around the map, each of which giving you different effects on what you can do. For example, you have healing, increasing your jump, your speed, giving you some protection, increasing your damage, and something called corruption as well. So each of the different stones does stuff and you want to try and collect all 6, which is a really cool dynamic if you're playing in a friends group on Discord, because you end up teaming up on whoever's got the most infinity stones, and that changes all the time. For example, you go to your friend, oh, I don't have any stones, I'm safe, let's go kill Bob over here because he has 4 of the stones. And then when Bob dies and loses some of those infinity stones and powers, then somebody else becomes like the big bad. But yeah, they're placed around the map. If you kill a target that has them, you will get one, and you want to try and get all 6 and then survive for 30 seconds, and then you instantly kill everyone to get a point. This game mode is exceptional. It's a lot of fun. It's really fun to team up on a player that has, say, 5 of the 6 Infinity Stones because they are really strong. There was a case where we had Brigitte with 5 of the 6 Infinity Stones, and she was a bitch to take down. You know what I mean? Like, it was really fun. We had a lot of laughs playing this game mode. I certainly wanted to highlight it because it's so much fun in a friend group, so do definitely play it. Next up is Diva Racing. If you get motion sick, then do avoid this game mode because, as you've seen on screen, it's pretty ridiculous on how fast it can get. It's amazing that the whole of this map has been opened up to fly around, even flying through some of the buildings on Lijiang Tower. It's a lot of fun, but I definitely did feel a bit queasy flying around at max speed on Diva. Again, this is one that you might want to do a couple of times, but it doesn't really have the replayability I find than something like Endgame. But this one is also really popular, being played for 633 hours in total, which is a good portion of time. Number 7 is a fan favourite, FLappy Bird. You can play this in a group. This is on the list twice, I believe. There's one version that's just single player that doesn't work multiplayer, but there is a version further down, which is the one I'm shown on screen, that allows multiplayer. So that's really cool to play in friend groups. Again, it's a nice gimmicky game mode. It's FLappy Bird, what else were you expecting? It's not a massive MMO or anything like that, but it's still a lot of fun. And again, amazing that this was made in the game. Number 6 is Diva Bumperkart. This was again one of those game modes that was pretty cool that it was made, but after a couple of minutes it got pretty boring pretty quickly. It might just be because we were playing in a group of 4, but if you have like 12 players that all want to just run around and bump each other with Diva, then yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun with this game mode, but it wasn't exciting as something like Endgame, or our next game mode, which of course is a fan favourite, was made in the first 24 hours, I believe, of the workshop going live. That's Gun Game. Gun Game is a really popular game mode in all sorts of games, and it's already made its way into the arcade. This one's a more stricter version of Gun Game, I suppose. Like, you start off as Anna and you work your way through the whole cast, I believe by alphabetical order now that I think about it. This was a lot of fun to play, the games lasted a good amount of time, and it felt good to practice certain heroes and get stuck on, like, say Mercy, having to use your ultimate in a lot of situations. And there's no better feeling than when you instantly go through different heroes because you get a kill streak on the go. Like I'm showing you on screen, it was a lot of fun, makes you feel really good about the game too, so this was really good fun and certainly one of the most popular game modes on there. Next up we have Hammond Racing. I know Fenner was involved in the making of this one, and again, a lot of fun, really good replayability wise, especially if you want to practice a bit of Hammond, but after a couple of minutes it kind of got a bit samey, especially with it being only on one map at the moment, at least for Numbani. But the reason why I guess it's so high is just because of the minutiae of it, I suppose. The countdown, the little smokes as you're about to sort of take off. It was a lot of fun, and it's nice to see this game mode that was kind of conceived when Hammond was added be iterated on in the workshop in a more official sense. Space number 3 belongs to McCree Hot Potato. This game mode is incredibly fun. I was laughing the whole way through it with this group. Basically, when you're on fire, you are the hot potato, you start taking damage with your health, and in order to get rid of that effect and pass it on to somebody else, you need to shoot them. And when you hit them, they will be on fire and start to take ticking damage. So you have to try and survive for as long as possible and, you know, get rid of the hot potato when it's on you as quick as possible. This is a fun game mode. It was really cool to do on the map. As I said, a lot of fun, a lot of laughs were had. You can get behind these panels that I'm showing you on screen, which kind of made it a bit more cheesy, I suppose, for those trying to do that. But this is really good practice for playing McCree in more serious situations, I guess it would be. In second place, this isn't a massively exciting one, but it is the Floor is Lava parkour. Or at least it should be. When I tried using the link, it didn't work for me, so I used one of the other versions of Floor is Lava, which is in this top 10. Again, much like FLappy Bird, Floor is Lava shows up multiple times because this is a game mode that you can pretty much play as default in the workshop, right? Because these settings are there to do it. So a really popular one. So yeah, no surprise that this one was as high as it was. Before we go over number 1, I want to highlight another really cool game mode that we played that was a lot of fun, and this was called T-Mode. So you all play as Annas, and to score a point you need to sleep a target and then teabag them. And when you teabag them, you kill them, you do damage to them and they die. And it was a lot of fun, really good practice for getting those Anna shots in. There's no cooldown reduce or anything like that, so you have to wait like the full 7 seconds, so you end up just dancing around in a group trying to not get hit. But this was a really good game mode, and I definitely recommend playing it if you haven't already. Really good for those aspiring animains out there. And finally, number 1, number uno, is Uno, actually. It's no surprise that this game mode is very popular, but I didn't think it would be the most popular game mode in the workshop. It's a lot of fun, managed to play it with a few friends this time, unlike last time, and it's amazing how it ends up working. The gameplay on screen isn't riveting, and it does take a while to sort of get used to the game mode if you haven't played it for a while, and being able to do it through the Overwatch client, you know what I mean? So it took a while for us to get there, but it was a lot of fun once we got going. This is a game mode that you can play over and over again. The replayability is there, but if you were hoping for a game mode to practice your skills at something that wasn't Uno, certainly play something else. But they are, according to Jeff Kaplan and Blizzard, the most popular workshop game modes. And you can check them all out, as I said, on screen and also in the description below. Now I want to talk about the Overwatch World Cup. As I said, I am going for committee lead. This is basically the social manager, making as much of a noise as possible for the team to promote them, to get their names out there, and also to work with sponsors and just promote the team in any means necessary. This is something that I think I do have a good amount of experience in. I've done a little video talking about all of my previous experience and all of the stuff that I've done in the description if you want to check it out. It would be really cool, UK people, if you could possibly vote for me. As I said, it's not the same thing as what Stylos is going for. He's going for general manager, which is a completely different thing. So I would really appreciate it if you guys could vote for me in the World Cup. It's something that I have really wanted to do for quite some time, and I would be absolutely honoured to represent the UK in this thing. But that's everything that I wanted to go over today. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, have fun with these game modes, and I'll see you then.